If DJI thought 2020 was going to be a calm year, as the past couple of them, where they had everything under control and nothing seemed really to be capable of surprising them, well, things may have changed with not only the launch of drones such as the Skydio 2 or the Autel EVO 2, but also the strange but interesting return of the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0 into DJI's stores. Well, there's a lot to talk about, and no more talking, let's go inside. Hello guys and welcome again, this is Alex with Chivo and the camera, and if we all kind of thought that DJI had pulled the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0 from their online store due just to marketing strategies, well, then the fraud cause, as some people have stated online, that you may remember from the beginning of this year, where apparently some internal workers had been inflating prices of materials for personal financial gain, which by the way, we have to believe is true, may have influenced that, as I'm saying, we have not been able to purchase the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0 this year. And as you may have seen or heard lately, there are two players we've known for a while now that seem to be pushing harder year after year, and those are the Skydio 2 and the Autel EVO 2 drones. Even though the Skydio seems to be aiming for more a specific market niche, it's true that there are many people purchasing the drone that have had not so good experiences with DJI for whatever reason. The Autel EVO 2, on the other hand, the specs about the leaks that we're talking about, 8K filming, 4K at 100 frames, exchangeable gimbals, you know, we've talked about all this in a specific video, and all that, it should be at least worrying DJI a bit. That's the scenario that DJI is looking into 2020 all of a sudden, when back in October they were about to launch their new beginner drone, the Mavic Mini. Since then, everything seems to have escalated very quickly. One thing's for sure though, DJI should be releasing a drone in 2020 and probably not too late. We're all thinking about the Mavic 3, but nobody ever said that the Phantom series was officially discontinued, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go that way too. Here are a few things worth mentioning. DJI has had enough time working in the background while they had both the most sold and powerful drones leading the consumer market. They have enjoyed having top specs, software, firmware and on their drones, but right now new players have arrived, and if we talk about the Skydio 2, well, we're talking about a drone that apparently has improved the software to a point where it's almost impossible to crash the drone. They are clearly ahead of DJI in this area, which also mean that a new DJI drone should have an improved APAS or obstacle sensing system or obstacle sensing system or whatever they want to call it. 8K filming, 6K filming, which we've seen on the Autel EVO 2 leaks, would also mean that neither the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0 nor the Mavic 2 Pro would be the top specs consumer drones out there anymore. So all of a sudden we have an outdated Mavic 2 Pro and Phantom drone. And the question, what does DJI pretend with a move re-including the Phantom 4 Pro 2.0 at their store? Okay, but hold on, we're talking about DJI, not just a random small drone company. For now, the Autel EVO 2 hasn't even hit the market, and the Skydio 2 is just being shipped in the US. Here in Europe, we'll have to wait at least until March or April. This means that DJI has had more than a year and a half to be working on something better. And it's not the first time that DJI gives some space to brands to launch their products, so immediately after that launch a new revolutionary product to destroy them. Because one thing is the hype and another is reality. We have experienced on how things went on the first Autel EVO. It was going to be a revolution, but up to this day, us here, Chivo and me, as a drone channel, haven't even seen it, nor tested, nor have we been flying it. And online, if you watch people traveling or doing films, you will hardly find someone that uses it. And before continuing with Autel, we have at this channel here another example of a super hyped product, and it was the GDUO 2. We pre-ordered it, 1,000 bags, and it took over than a year after we were supposed to get it to actually receive it right here. And it actually does record in 4K, but hey, 4K is just a speck on a paper. I think you're understanding what I'm trying to say here, because you may film 4K with a 30K bucks cinema camera or with a Chinese cheap 50-buck action cam. And we saw GDUO 2 4K and it was a complete disaster. So getting back to Autel, they may have won the specs battle for now, but first we'll have to see how it really films. And of course, do you honestly think that DJI won't have an ace upon their sleeve, a rabbit out of the hat? Come on, they will do that and you know it. By that of course we mean that Autel and Skydio may be ahead right now, but still DJI has to say something, and probably once they do, they will be ahead of those two again. If Autel or Skydio have access to hardware components, then DJI will have at least access to those same components too, or even better ones. The difference will be probably that for every drone Autel or Skydio manufactures and sells, DJI does it by 100 times. This means that they have a cost efficiency and margins that other two companies could only dream of. Plus, DJI has 14,000 workers right now working on tons of teams, projects, cameras, drones and all that. And if we talk about Skydio, as mentioned before, we're talking of excellent software and firmware developers. Even though we have seen reviews and videos from people testing in, and maybe it has been a little bit under our expectations, but anyway, for that we want to wait until we get a unit. It's a complete different target, where you can, for example, right now film in CineStyle or tweak some other manual functions, but the thing will be the following. If Skydio has been able to create something awesome, DJI will try to beat that. We're talking about not so big companies fighting against a monster like DJI. It is not a real fair battle in terms of, all these companies have different goals. When we were hyped about new drones hitting the market, DJI pulls the Mavic Mini all of a sudden, cheap drone hits the market, and you know already what has happened. Another example we've talked so many times about is the Karma drone by GoPro. It was a punch by GoPro right in DJI's face. Everyone was talking about DJI being relegated to a back position, and boom! Suddenly there's a foldable drone, the Mavic Pro 1, and you don't even care anymore about specs or flight autonomy, being able to pull out a gimbal of a drone, you just care about foldability. So who knows if DJI has something completely different for this time too. Well guys, I really hope that you liked this video. This kind of videos, we do have a lot of fun doing them, researching and trying to put out a interesting video for all you guys to learn something or even to discuss things with you guys. So if you think different, please let us know in the comments. If you do think that what we said is not right or is right, or anyway, let us know in the comments. And nothing really else to say, guys. Always remember to keep calm and tuck UAV.